Welcome to this video on The Portrait of a Lady, a classic story by author Khushwant Singh. The title, The Portrait of a Lady, is highly appropriate. It refers not only to a literal portrait, but also to the vivid word picture the author creates through his affectionate description of his grandmother, highlighting her dignity and spiritual strength. Before starting the story, let's review some key expressions. For example, thought was almost revolting means the idea was unpleasant. An expanse of pure white serenity symbolizes calmness and peace, while turning point marks a significant change in a relationship. The Portrait of a Lady is a sensitive autobiographical sketch by Khushwant Singh, describing his deep emotional bond with his grandmother. The story highlights her physical appearance, religious nature, and the quiet dignity with which she accepted changes. The story begins with the author recalling his grandmother's appearance: short, old, slightly bent, and covered in wrinkles. To him, she seemed so ancient that imagining her as young or beautiful was impossible. During the author's early years in the village, the grandmother took full care of him. She accompanied him to the temple school, read holy books inside, and fed stale chapatis to village dogs on the way home, reflecting her kind and devotional routine. A turning point occurred when they moved to the city. The grandmother was disturbed by the English school's lack of religious education and the introduction of science and music. As the author went to university, she withdrew into silence, accepting the changes without complaint, focusing on prayer and feeding sparrows. When the author left for abroad, the grandmother remained calm and composed, seeing him off with silent prayer. Upon his return 5 years later, she celebrated briefly by singing and beating a drum. The next morning, she fell ill, chose to pray quietly, and peacefully passed away. Before her funeral, thousands of sparrows gathered silently in the courtyard. They refused the offered breadcrumbs and flew away only after her body was removed. This emphasized the deep, natural connection and purity of the grandmother's soul. The main theme revolves around the enduring bond between the author and his grandmother and the impact of modernization on traditional values. The story explores love, companionship, and the conflict between tradition and modern education. Other central themes include acceptance, resignation, and spiritual peace. The grandmother accepts isolation calmly, using faith as a source of strength. Her connection with sparrows symbolizes the profound human connection with nature. The author's relationship with his grandmother had 3 phases before he left: close companionship in the village, reduced closeness in the city during school years, and minimal interaction when he went to the university and had a separate room. The grandmother was disturbed by the city school for 3 reasons: the shift from religious scriptures to English and science, the absence of teaching about God, and her dislike for music lessons, which she associated with low status. After the author grew up, the grandmother's days centered on prayer and reciting her rosary beads. She spent time at her spinning wheel and developed a loving routine of feeding the sparrows daily, accepting her seclusion calmly. Just before she died, the grandmother behaved unusually by celebrating the author's return with enthusiasm, singing religious songs while beating a drum. The next morning, she declared she would stop talking and focus on prayer before peacefully passing away. The sparrows expressed their sorrow dramatically by gathering silently around her dead body. They refused to eat the breadcrumbs offered and flew away quietly when her body was taken for the funeral, symbolizing a deep, shared grief.